like, it is an interesting one. Like, it is a very, very interesting one. When it comes to the growth of the league. But it's nice to see a Lisa Leslie seeing something good and then actually talking about it in like a positive way.
Did you catch what Lisa Leslie said about Caitlin Clark? It's got the WNBA buzzing. The basketball icon called Clark a game changer for women's basketball, but not everyone's happy about it. Some WNBA players are upset, saying Clark is taking attention away from them. So, what's really going on? Let's break down the controversy shaking up the league.
And I think the WNBA did such a poor job when it came to promoting the legends of the game, because it was always, they only ever looked at the legends when it was to tear down Caitlin Clark. They weren't trying to uplift the legends. They weren't trying to do that type of stuff.
You won't believe what's happening in women's basketball right now. Lisa Leslie, yes, the Lisa Leslie, just made a bold statement about Caitlin Clark, and it's all anyone can talk about. If you're wondering, who's Lisa Leslie? Let me tell you, she's a WNBA legend, a trailblazer who's won championships, Olympic gold, and earned her place as one of the greatest to ever play the game.
So, Lisa Leslie is one of the greatest female basketball players of all time. I don't think anyone is really going to question that one because, well, she's Lisa. Like, she was good enough that she was in Uncle Drew as far as I'm aware.
Lisa Leslie is a player other athletes admire. So when she talks, everyone pays attention. And her latest comment about Caitlin Clark? It's shaking up the entire WNBA. Leslie called Clark a game changer for women's basketball. Think about it. This is like Michael Jordan hyping up a rookie in the NBA. That's how huge this is. But here's the kicker. Leslie didn't just praise Clark's skills. She highlighted her impact on the WNBA as a whole.
And obviously, Lisa Leslie, wow, the impact of Caitlin Clark has really been a game changer. Love it. And throughout this whole thing, Lisa Leslie is just, saying it like it is.
Why is this such a big deal? Because when a legend like Lisa Leslie says someone is changing the game, it carries serious weight. This isn't just casual praise, it's a recognition that Caitlin Clark is doing something extraordinary, something that's transforming the sport. And here's the thing, Leslie isn't alone. Fans and players alike are loving that such a towering figure in basketball is shining a spotlight on the next generation. It feels like Leslie is passing the torch, saying, this young star is pushing women's basketball to new levels.
But Lisa Leslie had been pro-Caitlin the entire year. Heck, Angel McCautry was pro-Caitlin. Caitlin. I said Caitlin? Caitlin. We've got, Cynthia Cooper was extremely pro-Caitlin.
You might be wondering, is Caitlin Clark really that good? According to Lisa Leslie, the answer is a resounding yes. And when someone with Leslie's legacy says it, you know it's serious. This isn't just hype. It's a basketball icon recognizing true talent and game-changing impact. But here's the twist. While Leslie is all in, not everyone is on the same page. Some WNBA legends aren't exactly thrilled about all the attention Clark's getting. It's starting to feel like a basketball civil war, and the players leading. The charge against her might surprise you.
One thing when it comes to, a lot of people are talking about how, even throughout the season, how a lot of the WNBA legends, how a lot of these people didn't embrace Caitlin Clark and they were very anti-Caitlin Clark.
And game-changing impact. But here's the twist. While Leslie is all in, not everyone is on the same page. On one side, you've got players like Cynthia Cooper and Angel McCautry fully backing Lisa Leslie's praise of Caitlin Clark. They're thrilled to see the new generation making waves and love how Clark is energizing the sport and drawing more attention to women's basketball. Cooper and McCautry are all smiles, celebrating what Clark brings to the court. But here's where things heat up. On the other side, Cheryl Swoops isn't having it. She's been vocal about her issues with Clark, and the tension is growing fast. It's shaping up to be a real divide among the greats of the game.
Caitlin Clark. And I actually think because Cheryl Swoops was the most vocal one, Cheryl Swoops was the one that was being put forward by the WNBA, I think that made it more of an issue.
Cheryl Swoops is concerned that all the buzz around Caitlin Clark is overshadowing WNBA stars who've been grinding for years. And she's not holding back. She's speaking up loud and clear. It's hard to believe, right? Players who were once teammates, battling together on the court, now split over a rookie. But this isn't just about basketball anymore. It's about respect, legacy, and who gets to define the future of women's basketball. The tension is intense. You can practically feel it from here.
Pro Caitlin. And I think a lot of these high-level WNBA players are like just really happy that the game is in a good spot. And then obviously you've got your Cheryl Swoops of the world, who are Cheryl Swoops.
But here's the kicker. It's not just Swoops versus Clark anymore. The media has latched onto this story, casting Swoops as the face of the so-called anti-Clark movement. Now, people are assuming other legends are jealous of Clark's rising popularity, even if that's not true. It's like a bad game of telephone, and the fallout is straining friendships that have lasted for years.
Like, because Cheryl Swoops is the most vocal of the ex-players, it does make it seem like, oh, these other players are salty and stuff. And the problem is like the ones that were the most vocal, like again, Aja Wilson was the quote-unquote face of the WNBA before Caitlin Clark got there, and Aja Wilson was one of the more vocal people out against all of this stuff. So it does obviously show that narrative, but at least we're now seeing from some legends that it's not the case.
Let's break down why Caitlin Clark is at the center of all this buzz. She's not just another rookie. She's smashing records and changing the game. And here's the wild part. She's drawing in fans who've never watched women's basketball before. People who couldn't tell a layup from a three-pointer are now glued to the action. But it's not just about her stats. Caitlin Clark is transforming how people see women's basketball. She's making it exciting, dynamic, and unmissable. It's like she stepped onto the court and said, "This is what women's basketball can be." And just like that, the spotlight is shining brighter than ever.
Look, if you even asked for like Aaliyah Boston, if you asked Aaliyah Boston, why is this happening? Her answer is probably Caitlin Clark. But at the end of the day, doesn't matter why.
You might be wondering, what's the big deal? Well, here's the thing. Caitlin Clark isn't just playing basketball, she's changing the game. Her influence is lighting up social media, and her merchandise is flying off the shelves faster than a fast break. It's like she's got the Midas touch, turning everything into gold for the WNBA. But here's the twist. Some of the season's stars are starting to feel uneasy. They're asking, what about us? What about our legacy? Seeing Clark grab all this attention is stirring up some tough feelings among the league's veterans.
And I think that's where the WNBA have the biggest problem, is like they're not happy that they're not getting the growth in the exact way they wanted to. Because like it's one thing to have growth, but not like you're never always going to get growth exactly how you want it.
It's like the veterans built the house, and now Caitlin Clark's come in and redecorated it her way. But not everyone sees it as a problem. Players like Lisa Leslie are saying, "This is exactly what we've been waiting for." Leslie even pointed out that Clark and her generation won't face the same challenges they did. No more playing in run-down gyms or struggling for basic resources. Clark's success isn't just about her, it's lifting up the entire league, pushing it to new heights.
Even for like Alicia Clark came out and said, the thing I really love is that these younger generation players who have now been passed the torch won't have to know what it feels like sleeping in an airport because of delay, what being told not to go in 100% because the court isn't safe, what having to move out of your locker room after every season feel like, what not having proper resources and still showing up and thriving at your job feels like. All they know is professionalism, professional treatment, and I love that for them. Like, they're really not going to know what the lack of opportunity feels like.
Caitlin Clark has sparked a fire in the WNBA, and now everyone's feeling the heat. Some are loving it, while others are worried about getting burned. But one thing's clear, women's basketball is changing for good. You might think all this attention on Clark is just hype, but hold on. Things are about to get even crazier. The Indiana Fever just made a move that's got everyone talking. They didn't just sign Clark, they're building her a new home. The Fever announced they're constructing a brand new state-of-the-art training facility, and it's not just big, it's huge.
Be a norm. And this is obviously after the Indiana Fever announced their brand new, like, state-of-the-art, double the size of any other practice facility in the entire WNBA.
We're talking a facility twice the size of any other practice space in the WNBA. Can you imagine? This isn't just a new gym. It's the Indiana Fever making a bold statement saying, we're not just part of the Alma game. We're changing it. Now, you might be wondering, is all this really because of Caitlin Clark? Let's connect the dots. The Fever's management isn't just spending money recklessly. They're sending a message that's louder than a buzzer beater. They're saying, we're all in on Caitlin Clark and the future of women's basketball. But here's the real twist. This new facility isn't just about Clark, it's about what she represents. A fresh era for women's basketball.
That's a really, really important thing to see the legends of the game. And I'm not even talking about like completely, fully, absolutely embrace Caitlin Clark, to at least not try to ignore what she's done for the sport of basketball.
Let's break it down. Caitlin Clark isn't just racking up points. She's bringing in money, attention, and sponsors. All the things the WNBA has been pushing for from the start. Now, as a rookie, she's getting teams to invest more than ever before. It's like she flipped a switch and suddenly everyone's racing to catch up.
You can still give 75% of the credit to Caitlin Clark, but there is still another 25% for the Angel Reeses, the Cameron Brinks, the Paige Beckers, all of these players. I think those players do deserve some credit. The vast majority of the credit obviously is on Caitlin Clark, but there's definitely some credit for these other players. And I think to diminish the others, to diminish it is as just Caitlin Clark is wrong, but I also think to not acknowledge Caitlin Clark and just say, oh, it's because of all the rookies.
This isn't just about improving their team. The Fever management sees this as their golden ticket to the top. They're not just aiming to compete. They're setting their sights on dominating. With this new facility, they're sending a clear message to every top player out there. Come to Indiana. We're building something big here. Now let's talk about the future of women's basketball. You might think the Caitlin Clark buzz is just a short-lived trend, right? But hold on. This is way bigger than that. We're not just talking about one player. We're talking about the dawn of a whole new era for the WNBA.